Zach Wilson is getting better, and it's a good thing. Let's talk about it. Hey, what's going on? I'm Matt O'Leary back with another video, and today I'll be talking about Zach Wilson, how he's improving, and, why is he improving? Before we get started with that, just wanted to mention that you can follow me on social media at Matt O'Leary NY. If you haven't already, please make sure to check out the Just Jets podcast. And lastly, a word from our sponsor in today's video. These days, it can be hard to find and hire the right candidates for your small business. That's why LinkedIn Jobs made it easier to find the people you want to talk to faster and for free. LinkedIn is a great place in order to look or post a job. I know when I was looking for my most recent job, I was on LinkedIn searching up in need of sports writer or podcaster, and that's definitely where I was able to see what was available to me out there, and it's definitely worthwhile. Create a job post in minutes on LinkedIn Jobs to reach your network and beyond to the world's largest professional network of over 770 million people. LinkedIn Jobs helps you find the candidate you want to talk to faster. Did you know every week nearly 40 million job seekers visit LinkedIn? Post your job for free at linkedin.com/mo. That is linkedin.com/mo to post your job for free. Terms and conditions may apply. Okay, so yesterday, Zach Wilson played better. Some were still nitpicky because he threw an interception, and I understand that. Unfortunately, a rookie quarterback, more often than not, is not going to play perfect. And when your team stinks, like the Jets right now, and how bad they are on defense, they are more likely than not, they're not going to be able to catapult you to a lot of wins. Right now, everyone's pointing to Mac Jones and what he's been doing, and you look at that team around him, and you look at the head coach, a guy who went from Alabama to New England in year one is having some success right away. Of course it makes sense. And some of these other guys who we'll get to later in the video have struggled. But with Zach Wilson, he's shown that he's getting better. Yes, the interception was bad, but there was a lot of good. He had 3 touchdowns in the first half of the game, and they only had 3 possessions in the second half of the game. I know they only had that 1 possession in the third quarter. They had the ball for 70 seconds, and they went 3 and out, and everyone's going to say, oh, well, they could have had the ball longer if the offense didn't go 3 and out. Well, yeah, but he wasn't on the field for what? It was like an hour and 20 minutes of actual time? It's unfair to put that expectation. What you want to see and what this year has been all about is the progression of Zach Wilson. And guess what? He has progressed. He came back from an injury, struggled a little bit, but got a little bit better in the second half against Houston, and then had, all intents and purposes, a good game against the Philadelphia Eagles. And what I wanted to do was pull up the numbers, and Joe Caporoso tweeted it out, but it's something that I agree with. So in his first 3 games, Wilson was 0 for 3, completed 55% of his passes, 2 touchdowns to 7 interceptions, no rushing touchdowns. YPA was under 6 at 5.9, and the offense was putting up 6.6 points per game. Obviously, that's not any good. The Jets were really struggling on offense at that point in the year. But in his last 4 full games that he's played, 2-2, 60% completion percentage, 4 touchdowns, 4 interceptions, 2 rushing touchdowns, a 6.7 yards per attempt, and 21.5 points per game. That is progress. Is it perfect? No, it's not. The interceptions need to come down. The passing touchdowns need to go up a little bit more. But if we can't sit here and at least be a little bit excited that our young 22-year-old quarterback went from looking like a dumpster fire in the New England game to progressing and putting some pretty good performances against the Philadelphia Eagles, who, they're not great, but they're fighting for a playoff spot in the NFC, and the Tennessee Titans, then what are we doing here? Like, what's all of this for? And the comparison that I wanted to bring up, I just don't understand how Zach Wilson is so hyper focused on, and maybe it's because he's in New York, probably, and maybe it's just because I seem to have my finger on the pulse of Jet fans more than I do in Jacksonville or anywhere else. But Trevor Lawrence has been really bad, and I don't think Trevor Lawrence is a bust, just like I don't think Zach Wilson is a bust. But you have this section of Jets fans in the media saying how much it was a mistake to take Zach Wilson, or that he's definitely not the guy after 7 full games in the league, How we could definitively say that, I don't know. Meanwhile, Trevor Lawrence, has 1 touchdown in his last 5 games. 1. Over that span, 1 game over 200 passing yards. He has 4 games over that span where his yards per attempt was under 6. He's playing really bad. And once again, Trevor Lawrence is a generational talent. Probably the best quarterback prospect to come out of college since Andrew Luck. I would have been happy if the Jets had the number 1 overall pick in order to draft Trevor Lawrence. I would have taken Lawrence over Zach Wilson if the two were available. But that's the NFL. You need to give these guys a little bit of time to figure it out. And it's different than what we were talking about last year with a guy in his 3rd year and 30 plus starts under his belt. We're talking about guys with 7 to 10 career starts. Justin Fields. There's been some ugly games in there. He had a 3-pick game against Tampa. He's had a couple of nice games. The game against Pittsburgh, he looked good. The game against San Fran, he looked pretty good. But you haven't seen a ton out of Justin Fields either, and it's been pretty quiet there. Trey Lance started 1 game and was decent. But because Mac Jones comes into the league with Bill Belichick and a team with a much better infrastructure than any other rookie quarterback in this draft class, that's the one that Zach Wilson's going to get compared to. And it's going to be a disaster because New England's then going to be the number 1 seed potentially. And the Jets are going to win, 5 games this year? Come on. I mean, what are we doing here? That's what I don't understand. And that's just what I wanted to talk about today. But before this year started, I think I had him. Yeah, I did. I had him at 7-10. And my take was, I don't really care about wins and losses. I want to see the development of the younger players. Well, what have we learned so far? Elijah Moore is a really good player in this league. Really good player. Elijah Vera Tucker is a legitimate starting left guard and can potentially be an all-pro. That's how good he's been. On the defensive side, Michael Carter, really nice find. Bryce Hall's been really good. Michael Carter, the running back before getting hurt. I can't wait to see him come back from injury and play because he was looking good. It's about the development of the young guys. And there's tangible evidence showing that Zach Wilson is getting better as the year goes on. That's a good thing. We're allowed to be excited about it. And if you're not, like I said in the video the other day, it's probably because you either didn't want the Jets to draft a quarterback to begin with, or you preferred Justin Fields. Other than that, you can't legitimately say that Zach Wilson hasn't gotten better because the evidence is there. Sound off in the comments. Get after me on social media. Let me know. Drop a comment. Subscribe if you're new. Give the video a thumbs up and like too. Really appreciate the love and support. I'm Matt O'Leary, and I'll catch you next time.